Hello, my name is Chris Burry. I'm here with Ray McCorkle, and his business is called American Telephone Company here in Tallahassee. And let's get started. What year did you open up this business?
In 1969.
What made you decide to open it?
Had a hobby of electronics and audio products, and brought them back from Japan, and basically wanted to sell them, and the business started from that little
So you reached your inspiration in Japan?
And shipping equipment home, and I was in service. And when I got home and wanted new equipment, I sold my old equipment, bought new equipment, and it grew from that, an audio business, and expanded on from that to telephone business.
Now, when it grew into this business, did you make it into a sole proprietorship or a corporation?
It was a sole proprietorship. Actually, it was a partnership. So
with you and
my wife.
You and your wife, Kay McCorkle.
Right.
Now, the business plan. How much time, money, and planning did it take before you decided to open this business?
Well, it was hobby money mostly from military days, and didn't have to make much plans for money because it kind of grew. It was a business that grew upon its earnings as it sold equipment, and so I never really had to sit down and borrow money or pull money out of savings or anything like that, because
you were earning it all.
Earning it as we went, putting all the money back in for 2 years, never taking a penny.
And just to be clear, how long were you in the service collecting all this money?
About a year and 9 months.
Nice. Thank you for serving our country. How did you go about finding a location for your business?
Well, on my way to college, there was an audio store, or actually a TV repair store, that had gone out of business, and decided to check with the owner there, and the rent was right, and I thought I could afford it. It was pretty low rent because it's close to campus on Lake Bradford, and that was the first location of 3 that we started, and so there wasn't any really research going into it. I just knew my market was the student market on the FSU's campus and FAMU's campus, and kind of located in between the two of them. And business took off once we opened that location because we already had some established market, because we were advertising in the college newspaper exclusively in the college newspaper on FSU's campus, and occasionally a classified ad in the Tallahassee Democrat. So when we moved in that location, it was more convenient than working out of my home, because originally it was out of my home. So
was this a little bit too early to have a website?
Oh yes, much too early.
Okay, this is before the internet age. How do you currently use social media to promote your business, or do you not do that?
The only thing we do as far as social media are websites that are provided by other vendors that list us as a service and sales agent of the companies that we do business for, and also the national company NEC has us on their website, so that people do a search for us, they'll find us, and that leads to a lot of our leads, but a lot of our leads are just word of mouth and previous customers. So no exclusive website you can go to for our company. It's just listed.
So people just have to go into the Yellow Pages and
do a search, on the
or know somebody
who knows you. You Google it.
Or know somebody who knows you. Okay.
Exactly.
Did you have to get any licensing requirements for this business?
Yeah, you have to have a city license to sell equipment, so you can collect sales tax locally. So you have to have a business license that's sold by the city.
You also do repair work. Do you have to have a license for that?
No, it's all within the same license. And then you have to have a corporate license when you incorporate. You have to renew those timely or pay big penalties. So those are the only 2 licenses that we're really required to have. They used to have an electronics license, but they discontinued that, 25, 30 years ago when Askew was in office, that they really weren't doing anything for the business, so he just closed that department down. So that all they were basically doing is collecting fees and exchanging letters between people. So never really prosecuted anybody, so they closed
That's
it down.
Good. Do you use any information technology to help you run your business?
Yeah, we have servers at both our locations. We have 2 separate server systems, and we use standard software off the shelf, kind of like Excel and Word and Outlook. and database products that we wrote ourselves to run the bookkeeping part of it. So
that's cool. That's
and
cool.
we do most of that stuff in house, the IT department. So.
How do you handle internal and external theft? You told me you were burglarized before.
Yeah, we've bought insurance, try to have insurance, which is very costly in business. That's one of our main overheads, probably the main overhead. And when we were Strictly Audio, that was a popular product. They easily sold and interchanged between the people who made the theft and the people who wanted to buy the merchandise. And so we were targeted a lot for burglaries, people breaking through the block walls to try to make off with the merchandise inside.
Wow.
So we had several burglaries during our first 10, 15 years, and had alarm systems in the company that would actually ring me at home because I was located. I could get there faster than the police normally, and could check the alarm out if it went off. I could also listen into it.
So being burglarized 3 times, you learned each time how to prevent it a little bit more?
Yeah, I added more equipment
security.
for detection and try to detect it early before they get in the business. And if they did get in the business, I could actually communicate with them and talk to them to run them out as quickly as possible.
How do you select potential employees that you will trust?
Well, we run background checks on them, and we check their references, and we check the references from their references, so that we don't.
That's a lot of background checks.
So that we don't only talk to the people who are going to give them positive references, but maybe some others who aren't so positive. So.
How many employees do you currently employ?
Well, we've had up to 16 employees over the years. Currently, we're down in numbers on those because of the economy. So.
Understandable. What do you think is the most important quality in an employee besides trust?
Honesty.
Honesty.
And
don't want anybody stealing any of your merchandise, obviously.
And confidence. They have to have confidence in their ability to answer questions for people and look confident, so that those people, especially in the telephone end of our business,
and some knowledge in the industry.
Yeah, you got to have the knowledge, and because most people don't have any knowledge of what they're buying, and they're going to usually purchase from the ones that they perceive to have the most knowledgeable product and sales and service people. A lot of times, as far as their buying goes, they judge that strictly from the salesperson, which is not a real good way to buy. So you need to not only have someone to follow up the salesperson, but have the technicians behind it to keep the equipment running, and that's what they don't usually look for. So.
Now you said your co-CEO was your wife. Have you ever thought about hiring other family members? How do you feel about them?
We don't usually use family members. In the past, we've used them part-time, but never brought anybody on full-time. Most of my kids have grown up to have a higher goal than retail, and that's basically what we're in, is retail and the service business. But
so they're striving
all
for
of them
other
are girls also, so they moved set their goals higher than to work for their dad, which is good. So.
What company incentives do you offer your employees?
Basically, we just give them their salary. We don't have a lot of structure in the business as far as evaluation periods or whatever. We do a yearly evaluation normally, and generally if somebody does something exceptionally well or exceptionally bad, we call them in and have a review at that point to straighten that situation out, or maybe give them a bonus for the work that they did. And vacation time and sick leave time. So those are the main things that we use, which is more than a lot of small businesses do. Is that we're seeing those things disappear.
That's true.
As business gets more and more competitive. And on the higher end, obviously, it goes the other way with the Googles and all. There's many benefits. Very hard in small business to keep a employee, although we've had numerous employees that stayed with us 20 and 30 years. So.
Okay, so what kind of impact has this company had on your family in general?
Wow, that's a good question. It's kept us busy and home away from the vacation periods, because it's 24/7 pretty much, the business. So it creates a little tension as far as getting, as far as taking time off. It's not a recommended thing to do unless you're an extremely good delegator to have a CEO and different department heads in your business, because otherwise you're going to be stuck managing the group. So that's the main drawback of a business is it is time consuming unless you're extremely successful business person with many employees.
Well, Ray, I want to thank you for this interview, and you take care.
Thank you.
And